Hey, Vinyl Community, it's Jeff, and it's a beautiful sunny Friday morning here in lovely Oaklawn, Illinois, and I went to a couple of estate sales today, I posted on Facebook this morning, and I did get some stuff, which I'm about to show you, and I find that overall, oftentimes the stories that you get from these estate sales almost is worth as much as the items you find sometimes, because you get to talking to people and you get to seeing what people are selling, and the house that they're selling out of sometimes is more interesting than actually what you get, I find. But with my work schedule being what it is, being a shift worker, all of the planets have to align perfectly almost for me to be able to even go to these sometimes. So today there were two estate sales, both listing records as part of the sale, and they were fairly close to each other. So today I'm off. So I took a chance this morning and I took a drive and I went to both of them. At the first estate sale, there was actually nobody there. I was, I think, the first or second person in. It started at 9 and I walked up at like 10 of, and they're like, come on in, come on in. So, okay, there was nobody there. And there were a box of albums, which turned out to be a total bust because there was nothing but big band Christmas albums, some swing, Manavani. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen boxes full of records, and half of them, I swear, are Manavani records. Ugh. But she also had a box of 45s, and even though I'm not a big 45 guy, I ended up picking up 5 of them, and they were only $1 a piece. These were kind of the best of the bunch. There were a lot of Motown singles in there, but they didn't have sleeves, and the condition was pretty poor. So even the ones I got, I'm not even sure how good they're going to sound. I'm going to try and clean them. I mean, they had sleeves, but none of them matched the record label. The first one I got is Green Eyed Lady by Sugarloaf. Just a one-hit wonder. And, I mean, it looks... I'm going to try cleaning them and playing them. Who knows? For $1, I figured, what the hell. Another one I got is by The American Breed. Bend Me, Shape Me, Any Way You Want Me. Backed with Mind Rocker. Sorry, I didn't show the B-side on the Sugarloaf. Hold on. I know it was a song I'd never heard of. It is West of Tomorrow was the B-side on the Sugarloaf. And then there were 3 James Brown 45s, which is the reason why I bought these, because I had these first 2 pulled and I was thinking about it and I was like, I don't know, maybe, nah. And then I found 3 James Brown 45s, so I just got the whole bunch for $5. So I figured, what the heck. The first one is Oh Baby, Don't You Weep, Part 1. B-side is Part 2. Don't know this song, never heard it. It's by James Brown and the Famous Flames. So we'll see how that turns out. The next one has a hole punched through the center vinyl, but once again, it's a 2-parter. It's Cold Sweat Part 1 on the B-side, Cold Sweat Part 2. Well, that song I know. And you can see right here, there's a hole punched through the vinyl. This one is in, I mean, these are in, I'm hoping they clean up. A lot of these are fairly well scuffed. I don't really hold out a lot of hope that they're going to sound good, but it was James Brown. I couldn't leave it. And then the third one is Kansas City, backed with Stone Fox, also by James Brown and the Famous Flames. So it's a crapshoot. They might clean up and sound good. They might not. Either way, it wasn't a major outlay of cash. So that was okay. So then I went to the next sale, and I had to wait because I was early for that one. And there were a lot of people showing up, right as I was. And there was a sign-in sheet, which turned out to be completely useless. And so I signed up, and I waited. And of course, you stand there and you start talking to people, and you start hearing other people, what they're talking about. And sure enough, there were probably 4 or 5 other guys there that were after records. And I'd say I'm not a reseller, I'm a collector, so I'm probably looking at these a little bit differently. All these other guys were resellers, and they're just swapping stories back and forth about this sale and who was selling here and what this guy had and how outrageous his prices were. And I'm just looking around, and I'm talking to these guys a little bit, and I'm thinking to myself, oh God, what chance do I have? It's going to be like, steak thrown to the wolves here. And when I got there, I walked up, I saw the guy who was running the sale carrying in a big box of rock records, because I recognized a few of them. And he goes, yeah, the sale won't be starting for another 20 minutes. I still have to price these records first. And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, it's not going to be a case where, usually you'll have one box where the records are maybe $3, another box where they're $5 or something like that. But if you got a guy who's individually pricing albums, that's no bueno. So I was already there. I was already waiting, so I figured, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. So at 10 o'clock, when the sale's about to start, the guy comes out and tells everybody kind of, what's in there and where they're at in the house. And then he just lets everybody in. The reason for a sign-up sheet is, you're able to enter the house, if they do them in groups, but he just threw the door open and said, come on in. So I don't even know why. But anyway, I get in the house and I see where the records are. They're right in front. And 2 of the guys that I've been talking to were already there flipping through them, so I just sidled up next to them and I was looking. And they were both shaking their heads, bitching about price. And to me, yeah, some of them were on the high side. Some weren't. And as they're flipping, I just grabbed some that I wanted. If they weren't taking them and they were flipping, I was grabbing. So I grabbed a couple, and then by the time I got there, he'd already been halfway through the stack. So when I was able to get at it myself, I was like the next one. I started from the beginning, and ended up pulling 2, 3, 4. I ended up pulling 7 albums. So, and you metal guys, if any of you metal guys are watching my videos still, I got stuff that you'll like. Just wait. Yeah, the prices were a little high, but like I said, these guys are resellers, so they're not thinking about the record itself. They're just looking at the price and calculating in their head what they can flip it for. Which, I guess if that's what you do, good for you. But me, I'm just buying these to collect and to listen to myself. It might be a strange thing to them, but it is what it is, So and then this guy's like, oh, this is on my want list, but that's too high. Oh, I want this one, that's too high, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So all that said, I'm going to show you what I picked up. First one is Streets of Fire soundtrack. This was a movie that came out in the mid-'80s, I think 1984. And I remember it being on cable all the time when we had cable when I was a kid, and it's kind of this dark dystopian future type of movie with Michael Pare is in it. That's him right here. You know, I think you remember him from Eddie and the Cruisers. And the only thing I remember about this movie, besides the song I Can Dream About You, which is on this soundtrack, is the end. He has a fight with Willem Dafoe, and they have these sledgehammers, and they're fighting with sledgehammers. It was really kind of funny and cool at the same time. So, there's the back. All of these albums, I mean, of course, I looked at them before I bought them. And I'm just going to pull this one to show you. I'm not going to pull them all, but they're all in basically mint condition. They're just dusty. You know, I looked at all of them. There's really, these records probably sat for a long time, you know, and picked up dust from the cover, you know, the sleeve here. So that's okay. They'll clean up. They kind of have that, they have that paper, that musty paper smell, you know. And this album's already 30-some years old, so I guess I can expect that. So this is my first get from that sale. Second one, which I just grabbed for shits and giggles, was Madonna's first album. It still has a shrink wrap on it. This was one of the cheaper albums too. You know, Madonna's okay. She's made some good stuff. I figure, what the heck, you know. I don't hate Madonna. And then these next 5 are more in the hard rock metal category, like ZZ Top, El Loco. Got this one here. What's on this one? Tube Snake Boogie is the one on here that I recognize the most. Pearl Necklace, that's on here too. You gotta love ZZ Top, so I got this one. And I actually tried getting this one on a couple eBay auctions, but I never did. Robert Plant's Manic Nirvana. This album came out in 1990. There's the back. Like I said, it's all these are all mint condition albums. They're just dusty, so that's fine. My wife, I know she's gonna like this one. This was her first concert, so when I saw this album, I couldn't not get it. Scorpions, Love at First Sting. I know she's gonna appreciate this. At least I hope she does. I like the Scorpions too. So, you know, hey, it's got Rock You Like a Hurricane on it, so how bad can it be, right? And then I got a couple of Ozzy albums. I got Blizzard of Oz right here on the Jet record label, which I didn't know Ozzy released albums on the Jet record label. I thought it was only ELO who did that. So, and of course, I also got Diary of a Madman. So yeah, I got a couple of Ozzy albums thrown in the mix there too. So you metal guys should be proud of me. You better be. Like I said, I'm slowly getting into metal. I'm just starting from the beginning, that's all. So yeah, that second sale was was a better haul than the first one. Total for those 7 albums was about $60. You know, it's probably comparable if I tried tracking them down on eBay, more or less, maybe. I don't know. I allowed myself $100 for this sale, so I'm still well under my limit here. So, all in all, it wasn't a bad haul. It was worth going to. Like I said, those 45s are probably going to not really turn out to be much of anything. But I'll still clean them up and give them a shot, see how they play. So yeah, like I said, estate sales are fun. Some are friendlier than others. This second one I went to with these albums was definitely more friendly. I mean, you know, The guys that were standing around the record box, were a little friendlier. They let me look, and of course, people next to me, I let them look in too while I was flipping. That's not always the case when you go to some of these sales. These guys are pretty cutthroat. They're just be like, standing over it and hogging it and, flipping through it. You can see, I've got to show you my hands as they're flipping, trying to, get the good stuff first. Hey, man, it's all good. I never come to these sales with high expectations. I figure if I find something and I'm happy, then that's great. If not, it's all a crapshoot. But like I said, they're still they're fun to go to. I go to them occasionally, and just listening to the other people talk sometimes is worth as much as finding stuff at the sale. Listening to these resellers, chat, because they all seem to know each other. Every time I go to an estate sale, there's always a group of people that all kind of pull up, within 5 minutes of each other, and they all seem to know each other. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Oh, how you doing, Joe? Ah, blah, 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 blah. And I just stand there and listen. So that's it. That's my haul for today. So I'll be cleaning these records up a little bit later and play testing them, seeing how they turn out. But the albums should be fine. It's just the 45s that I don't really have a lot of hope for. Oh well. There's still time to get into my Crazy Eights contest. That's going to be ending here shortly. You still have the weekend to get a video in if you haven't yet. And probably on Sunday, I'll do a contest update. And I've written down everyone's name on a piece of paper. And I'll just go over everyone that I have down for the contest. I have got like 44 entries as of today. And I'm not infallible. I do make mistakes. I already caught one mistake. I know I watched Jeff Party's contest entry, and I made an idle comment to him on a different thread about, hey, you're going to enter my contest. And he's like, I already did. And I'm like, what? And I checked my sheet, and I didn't write the name down. See? So I'm going to go over all that probably on Sunday, and then the drawing will be Monday afternoon, Monday the 19th. But like I said, you still have today, tomorrow, and Sunday to get a video in if you still want to enter. All right, I will go over all the particulars with that later. For now, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And rock on, everyone. I'll see you.